Tell them family you miss. Look, we don't feel, we just play. So yeah, I know you're tired of the stress. Look, you woke up, pay that bliss. Tell them your whole family that you miss. We don't feel, we just flex. Do you wake up in the morning, never ready to face the day? Decision making, kids complaining, man, you just can't catch a break. Seems like you're sleepwalking, falling, dwelling on the past, paralyzed, family ties, wishy-washy friends. How do you elevate and motivate, reevaluate your plans? First, people get out them feels, rebuild your confidence. So keep your head up, gotta stay heavy on yourself. So keep your life, time to get your life so we can guide this generation. And hate to be a be free to be a leader with that queen. Welcome to the queen. Watch that hate emulation. Grab your free, be your leader with the house queen. Hey, welcome to the queen of goats. Yes, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We're here, y'all. We are here. We made it back to the Queen, and I love y'all so much for tuning in every time. Look, I'll be about to run out of purpose. I know I am great, but that's okay. And I do want to thank my guests first out before I get started with the intro. I got Bates Reed here, who is going to be talking about his beautiful, beautiful business, Shy Life. But you know that's my mind your business segment, so tend to your business till we get to that. Anywho, let's go ahead and thank the people that make the Queen great. Of course, I want to go ahead and thank Dr. Woods and Mike and my new dog Robin here. You know, for having the Queen on here and giving me this platform so that I can come out and try to inspire as many people that I can, so that y'all can get your life. Like, period. That's it. That's all we got to discuss today. So yeah, thank you, Dr. Woods later. And of course, you know, I got to thank God. God has been definitely blessed me here lately. If anybody didn't know, I did get proposed to on Valentine's Day. So yes, he's gonna make an honest woman out of me, guys. So yeah, along with that, I found out that I'm having a boy. So all of that's gonna be jumping out. I'm probably not gonna have no wedding next year till I drop this thing. Don't ask me about no wedding. Why y'all be doing that to people as soon as they get engaged? So when's the date? Girl, I just figured out I got proposed to. I ain't said no date. Okay. But yeah, thank God for all the many blessings. And of course, we are going to be talking about get your health. So I got a little quote for y'all. Cue that quote. The quote for today: good health is an important part of being self reliant. Safeguarding our health will allow us to fulfill our divine potential and serve others more effectively. The way we treat our bodies affects our spiritual health and our ability to receive guidance from the Lord. So basically, girl, if you're being healthy out there, you are moving more so towards your purpose. You're having a clear mind, you're having a clear conscience, and you're just thinking better because you feel better. And of course, that's definitely, giving you more blessings. The Lord is seeing that you're definitely being capable of disciplining yourself. Because it's hard to not stop at McDonald's. It's hard to have that little quick meal. But luckily, we do have Bates Reed here so that he could tell us about eating more healthier and about his services that he offers with his business, Shy Life. So let's go ahead and get into the Mind Your Business segment, where it's my business to mind your business. And I got my jewel, Bates Reed. Thank you
Hey,
so
how are
much.
you, Bree?
I'm
So nice to have
amazing.
you.
Uh,
You look amazing, and I'm so
you-
happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. I look amazing. My
There's a
200
good
pounds.
things going on there, right?
Yes, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. But I definitely want to get into your business because I really want to start eating healthier. Like I'm doing a little bit better
Right,
than what I was, but I feel like if I have you in my corner, I can do a lot better. So go
right.
ahead and tell everybody, your platforms, websites, everything where they can reach
Well, I'm Bates Reed. I'm with Chi Life. Chi Farms is our farm. We started there a few years ago. Got a place in Sell Creek,
you.
and
Hmm.
I've been farming my whole life since I was like this big, since the
Really?
size of your little baby there. But yeah, I grew up. One of my grandmothers had a big farm over
Mhm.
Dixon, and my other grandmother didn't have a farm, but there was this little piece of land right between the driveway and the next house,
Mhm.
about that big by that big,
Yeah.
and that was my first farm because I
Okay.
went and learned about one grandma, and then the other grandma had a little space, so I got to start trying that out at like 5, 6 years old, just on
That
my
is so
own,
cute.
and I don't know, somehow that stuck.
I love it
It just stuck. Getting my fingers dirty, learning that getting your fingers dirty is not a bad thing.
at all.
Getting your hands dirty, feeling, letting those. microbes and things go into your skin, which
Mhm.
makes your body literally healthier
Really?
because if you don't do that, the body becomes very sensitive when something foreign comes to it.
True.
So if you're out working in the dirt, it's all kinds of, I don't know, worm poop and
Yeah.
all kinds of other things that turn into really good things that nourish our body. So I think a lot of
Okay.
things today people are just kind of afraid of, and you don't want to be afraid of those things. You need to get a little dirty sometimes
I
and,
love
and keep that
that.
body strong. And then the vegetables come out of the dirt, and you eat the vegetables, and of course, farming at home is what drove me. And we look at the world. I mean, tell me what you think about Bree
Mhm.
about food security and insecurity going on right now in the world. What does that feel like to
I
you?
mean, honestly, it's looking more so like people are going off of what they were raised off of. So just like you was raised off of the farm and you
Right,
getting used to that, we're going off of what we were raised off of. So if we eating fast food outside, we're gonna get our kids fast food and stuff like that.
right,
Or
right.
fried food, soul food. We
Yeah.
definitely raised off soul food. You know how we are.
Oh, absolutely,
We
absolutely.
didn't realize that was bad because it's what our parents are feeding us.
Right, right.
So it's like we have to reset our mindset now because we're kind of on the verge of, hey, do I want to eat healthy or do I just want to keep going with what I know?
Well, and it's a long process. I grew up with my family saying most of the men, well, 67 was the oldest grandparent or father figure that I know in my family. We don't live real long in my family.
Oh
The
wow.
men don't.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Wow.
grew up with a grandma telling me, Bates, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, those things get us on the
Yes.
men's side of the family. And so from a very, I mean, they instilled that in me. And I'm like, I'm
Hmm.
going to be healthy in my life. My dad
That's
died at
good.
44. He died really
How old
young.
are you doing?
I'm 61.
61. Awesome. You look
Yeah.
great.
Well, thank you.
Good.
Thanks a
Yes.
lot. But the whole journey's been, and for me, it has been about health and nutrition my entire life.
Yeah.
But now I'm 61, and I'm like, things still catching up with me.
Really.
And
Yeah.
high blood pressure's still there. They
Hmm.
say we can change our genetic coding, right?
Right.
By thoughts,
Yeah.
by thinking thoughts. We can put myself in that eye. Look, you see, but making that genetic coding switch because we have all this history, right?
We do.
We have history going back generations to continents to
Hmm.
different places we're from,
Hmm.
and to break that, almost call that like a karmic circle
Hmm.
of your family's past.
Hmm.
How do you break that for your family? How do I break that
I
for my
thought it was from
family?
eating healthy, but you still getting
Well,
it.
I think it's yeah, I think it's
Mama, you gonna give me high blood pressure? No, I'm just playing.
but I think it's a genetic coding passed down generation after generation, what your parents experienced, what their parents experienced
True,
before
true.
them, and that's kind of inbred in our genetic makeup. So when we plop out on here on this planet, there are certain things that we kind of just have unless we consciously learn to change it.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that one. Wow, I didn't know that honestly because I felt like, if I change the trajectory, then
Mhm.
maybe I can change that to where it don't go to my kids. You know
Well,
what I
and that
mean?
and that is purpose.
Yes,
So
absolutely. I agree.
we talk about consciousness. I talk about God as consciousness.
Mhm.
All that energy flowing into each and every one of us on a main field of energy of the love of God.
Right.
When that enters your body, to me, that's all about how do I put love into my body and share love with others so that we
Amen.
can truly begin to affect change for us and our families and our children and our grandchildren.
Mhm.
And I think food's one body, soul, and spirit. But let's talk
Right.
about body. Body is, if we're going to live on this planet, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, on the
Mhm.
bottom, that bottom structure that gives us the strength to do everything is food.
It
It's
is.
number one, and shelters after that, and then it gets the nicer things go up, as you go
Mhm.
up that pyramid. But if we don't get our food right, we can't think right.
Mhm.
We don't eat right. We put on weight we don't want to put on,
Mhm.
which is really just sugar coming into our bodies from
Right.
basically 80%. They say now 80 to 90% of everything we eat is sugar based.
Mm.
So you go have a nice pasta dinner, all
Mhm.
that
There's a little
pasta
sugar in
turns
there.
into sugar.
Mhm.
All that sugar goes on your body, and then when you run that body, it tries to eat up that sugar, but you got so much coming in, your kidneys are working hard that you just don't eat it up, and then we put weight on us that can then affect our heart, our blood
Mm.
vessels, all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So I think it's just a whole mindset. I've always been a lean guy. There's been some times I wasn't,
I mean, it's okay. It
because we all do
fluctuates.
fluctuate, right? We all do these huge fluctuations, but
Right.
but there's been some times in my life where putting on weight, I can only go so far because then my back will go out.
Facts.
Well, thank God. Thank you
Mhm.
for making my back go out 'cause you're telling me I put on too much weight
Yeah,
and I can't carry that around. So that our body gives us all these signals
they
and
do.
signs. And the last thing we want to do is get to a latter part of our life. And in this world, that could be 20s, 30s, and 40s because there's so much
Mhm.
obesity. There's so much of
Ew.
us not taking care of ourselves because we can go to the fast food
It's
place.
easy. Come on,
It's
man, let's
just
just
so
go get a
easy.
Happy Meal,
And it's
man.
cheap. And it's cheap when you need it to be
It
cheap.
is. It's very
And
easy.
but it doesn't mean you're doing one good thing for yourself except filling your belly.
Amen to that.
So
Amen to that. That's very good insights. But are you from
I
Chattanooga?
am. I grew up in Red Bank and in Hickson.
Okay,
Yeah,
period. Love it.
yeah, yeah.
Well, what besides, of course, you growing up with this, what else made you get into this business? Because that's really rare that you be a young child doing farming. What made you want to just start your own business?
I tell you, I started. I really believe in community. Like
Mhm.
community's everything to me. I've
Love
spent
it.
my life living in intentional communities, learning how social intentional communities work. I've lived in ashrams with
Mm.
spiritual
What's that? What
guru kind of things. Well,
overseas?
no, actually, I've done several of them here in the United States. One was
Okay.
called the Aloha Foundation.
Mm.
That was a community I lived in Central Florida.
Okay.
And I got to meet people like Greg Braden and Marianne Williamson and Deepak Chopra and their teams. And they would come
Okay.
in and we would talk about more the spiritual health. But it's all about, you got to combine the physical, the spiritual, and the emotional together. And then we got to
Thanks.
find a way to balance all that up here so that as the world's going crazy out there,
Mhm.
we can balance all of it. And I think life's a cycle. Where I got into it was life was this cycle of, okay, I'm going to take care of my body. Now I'm aware of my body.
Mhm.
Then a few years pass, I'm like, I need to take care of my physical, spiritual side. I need to start really developing my spiritual side, my opening myself up to love and the connection with God,
Yes.
the
That opens
source,
up
and
the emotional side.
it opens up the emotional side. So
Mhm.
all of that is this journey of learning to become who we are, and it all starts in the silence and meditation.
Love
To
it.
me, it's like when every thought is a prayer. So what I'm thinking, if I'm putting that out to the universe, that's going to come back. It's going to ricochet back because those are my thoughts, whether they're good thoughts or the
Yes.
bad thoughts. The thoughts about being healthy or the thoughts about not being so healthy. I
Mhm.
think about drinking too much or not drinking too much, or
Mhm.
you know, treating my family right or not treating my family right.
It's your
It's
thoughts.
all your thoughts. So
Love
I
that.
love that. Your thought is a prayer, and then you take every thought as a prayer, and then you learn how to meditate. You get silence. You
Mhm.
go within, like we were taught.
And that's when you get the answers.
Well, that's when it
Oh
manifests
yeah.
because in the silence and that silence of the oneness of that you can find a connection with your soul.
Mhm.
A nice silent place where all of our energy comes from, and I call that the God energy. That's
Yes.
true energy,
I
and
love
that's Chi
it.
Farms, Chi Markets. It's about Tai Chi, pure energy, the pure energy of God that's within us.
Right.
So how do we reach out and do that? And it starts with our health.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Well, what services do you offer with am I saying it right? Chi
It's
Life.
Chi.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying Chi like it's Chi Town.
You know what it is? I'm telling you what that is I think we're all focused in the world more on chai tea, and
Oh,
they've done a better
yeah.
job of marketing chai tea, and that's nice and
Mhm.
sugary and tasty good, and it wakes
I
you
do
up.
love me some Chi tea.
And so people see tea, and the first thing they think is chai.
Yeah,
I think they did a great job of marketing chai tea.
I got you, but it's Chi Life.
It
So,
is tea life,
what
yeah.
services do you offer with this business?
Well, at the farm, we grow our own vegetables
Mhm.
up in Sell Creek. We grow. I've got a wonderful girl there that's partnered with us. Her name's Elle. I've known her for about 10 years, and
Nice.
she manages the farm and growing the organic stuff that we grow, the local food. She also manages our hens.
Mm.
So we got a hen farm up
He
there.
was asking me about the eggs.
Yeah,
He was like, "I used to eggs."
yeah, man, there's something different about a locally produced egg than when you buy in the grocery store.
Tell us.
What do you think that looks like? What's
I
the
have
difference
no
between the
idea.
eggs?
I
You know?
I've never had one straight from the hen
Right.
onto my plate.
Well, when you crack those eggs open, man, they look different. The one from your locally grown farm is going to look bright yellow gold. It's
Okay.
going to look. It's just going to be vibrant like the sun. The other one's
What?
going to be like a pale yellow usually.
What they be doing?
Well, that's what you don't want to know
Oh,
because I mean
I
those.
might want to so I can do business with you.
Well, those chickens are used. They got a lot of antibiotics in them. They are packed in with a lot of chickens on the chicken farms.
Yeah.
Some people are doing it much better now, but overall, they say only 2% of all of our food that comes into the United States
Hmm.
has to be inspected. That's 98% of all of our food
That are not.
that's not inspected. So what we've seen, what I've seen, I don't know if you agree with this or not, but what I've seen over the past, okay, I'm 63.
Mhm.
I've been watching stuff since I was old enough to recognize that,
Mhm.
being in the garden, 5, 6 years old, watching what the difference between an egg look like, or what the
Right.
difference in a grass-fed cow looks like, as
Oh,
opposed to a cow that's just fed grain its whole life, fattened up as fat as it can, injected with hormones. I
wow.
remember, gosh, I remember. Do you remember when hormone became? Do you know anything about hormones and
I
how they
used to
affect little
hear it.
girls?
I used to hear it in high school. I thought it was like fake, like how our breasts and stuff were getting bigger,
Yeah,
but
like at age
it was really
8,
just the
7,
chicken
6. Well, I
and the I just
the
thought
chicken
that
and
was
the egg. I said the chicken and the cow,
and the
baby.
cows. Yeah, they was like this is the meat. It's making the women produce early, like develop early. I'm
What?
like, what?
Yeah, man. So, a
I
lot of
should have been in there because I was skinny, y'all. I guess I wasn't eating enough. Y'all wasn't putting no hormones in my meat. I don't know what was going on.
right. But those are the things in the long term that I have watched as from a boy to, an older man
Yeah.
now, that have really began affecting what I see as health
Mhm.
today. Just as an observation in the world. I'm no doctor, but I can observe. I
Yeah.
can be involved in nutrition and health, and at least talk about these things logically, just through years of experience. Plus, I've worked for sports nutrition companies that had tons of bad chemicals,
Mhm.
and I had to quit those jobs because. An example, I went to work for one company as a vice president of a sports nutrition company, but it was full of aspartame.
What is that?
It's like a form of sugar. It's a form
Mm,
of sweetener, but
mhm.
it's been proven to cause cancer in rats. And
Oh
so I had to
no.
quit that job because
Mhm.
my inner being would not allow me to keep working for a company that was poisoning people I was selling to, because to me, karmically, that's going to come back to me, right?
Absolutely.
So we don't do that.
We got morals.
We got morals. We got to stay on the up and up with loving our neighbors and
Absolutely.
feeding each other the most clean, healthy products we can find. And
Amen.
milk and eggs are just the beginning of that.
Wow.
You know,
You about to scare me. I'm about to go home. I'm about to
well,
clean out my refrigerator.
I think people do need to be aware, not to be
We
afraid,
do.
but to empower themselves to say,
You're
I'm not
right.
going to eat that stuff anymore. I'm going to go out
Mhm.
into my garden and I'm going to call Bates, and maybe I'll go up and look at their garden up at Chief Farms,
Mhm.
and let them show me some things if I've forgotten or if I never knew. We're happy to do those kind of things. And then we're happy to
Absolutely.
pass local farmers' food on to you
I love
as
it.
local as we can get it. Now, I'm not saying it's always as local as I want it, but the difference between local and organic, do you know the difference?
I don't.
So local and organic, people say, "Oh, I want all organic. I want all organic." Well, maybe 25 years ago, you could say organic was organic.
Mhm.
Now you can't say that because the FDA has changed so many rules
They still add
to
stuff
make
to it.
corporations,
Wow.
and you don't know, because they define the definitions of organic, probably the cleanest food you can eat,
Yeah. Better
whether
than
that be a cow or a chicken or a piece of vegetable or whatever. That's all changed now, and those definitions have all been misconstrued to meet the needs of major corporations producing food or
somebody.
whatever, right? So
Mhm.
those are things going on. So to me, it's like grow your food. I mean, one of the things that we hope to do with Chi Life and Chi Farms in the upcoming year is to hopefully do something like take buckets to people and say, "Would you grow this for the year? Take what you need, and then give us back the
Right.
bucket, and then we'll feed that local food that we prepared for you
Mhm.
to other neighbors."
That's
That gives us good local. So we'll see if that happens or not. That's
nice.
kind of one of the dreams one of the people have,
I
and I
love
think it's a
that.
great idea.
It is.
If you're not going to vegetable, maybe we can bring you a bucket and set it on your front porch. And if you'll water it for us, you'll get part of that food.
Man, come
We can take
on.
it back into our community. At least get people in the habit of trying to take care of themselves and doing something good for their neighbors.
I agree because I'm so oblivious. Like I literally will try to take care of a plant, but I forget. You know what I mean? So
I just
I
forget.
yeah. But if I see something growing out of it that I need,
Yeah.
that'll nourish my body, I'll be more disciplined in the taking care of it. So
Yeah.
that's a great idea. And then it'll teach people how to garden, and then they'll want to do more and more once they see the finished product. So
Absolutely.
that's a great idea.
And then the finished product becomes you not going to the doctor so early in
Mhm.
your life, and your
Mhm.
kids not going to the doctor. So the idea is to live a strong, healthy life as long as we can without doctors,
Right.
and then have your doctor checkups, do the things you need to do, but
Mhm.
not. We don't have to worry about the sugar problems
Right.
or the hormone problems or the other things that are not healthy for our bodies so much if we're keeping it local and we're buying from local farmers and we're
Absolutely.
growing. We're try, trying to make an initiative to grow things in our own garden. I mean, and then you get into earth changes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rain happening.
Come on now. Don't get me started on Earth Change. Because they already shooting up UFOs or whatever they're shooting up. I feel like I'm not gonna jinx it, but I just feel like it's time for us to literally start growing our own food because it may end up being a apocalypse thing going on or something where we're shut in our homes like during COVID or something like that.
We could go down a rabbit hole on that.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to get that started.
Oh no, let's go
there. Yeah, I don't want to get that started, but I'm just saying.
But I think that is what we should be doing now. Is go out there and dig a hole and plant a tomato plant this year. If that's all you can do, go do that.
Right.
Because you might need a tomato next year and you might not be able to afford it in the grocery store. You see what's going on.
Okay, $6 for a tomato. You see the eggs. Come on now. Come on. I'm glad I got weak. I'm telling you. Well, who are some of your influences growing up?
Well, I tell you, most of my influence. Well, I would say my grandma Gunter was my first farm influencer.
Awesome.
And then I kind of went through a stage where I was going to go into politics and kind of put all that aside.
You got that Joe Biden look going on.
People might shoot me. Don't say that.
He's not Joe Biden, y'all.
Don't shoot me like you're about to do it, please. I mean, I'm a fan of everybody that's doing good work. I'll leave it like that.
Okay.
So you got good intentions. I'm a fan of that. So,
right.
But wait, what did you ask me again?
Who were your influences?
I think, after I realized that when I was real involved in politics in the early 80s and 70s in high school, middle school.
That's good.
And they tried to put me on that track to politics because I was good at it. I could talk in front of people. But what I learned going into that nasty stuff was that it can corrupt just about anybody that it touches. Because you're trying to make so many people happy. You're trying to please, and most of the time you're trying to get something back.
Right.
And that's not necessarily always healthy for the body, mind, or the spirit. If you're doing something, because we know we ought to just be giving, and loving, and serving, right? Absolutely. But when we're giving, expecting something back, that turns it dirty.
It does.
It messes it all up. So I think politics has a tendency to do that. I keep praying that in politics, but I pulled out of it. My blood pressure, I have natural high blood pressure, but I pulled back because at 21 years old, my blood pressure was like 168, 170 over 140.
Oh no,
because
it's stressing you out.
I can't do that kind of stuff. I can't. If it's not absolutely integrity and my body makeup, I couldn't do it. So then,
I love that about you.
Really, then I moved into the spiritual work of because I always wanted to do spiritual work from a young age, but there was no place for me, honestly, because I wasn't a white straight man.
Oh, okay. Oh, but
God knows
your heart.
God knows my heart, and so I wanted to get out and represent God and just listen and learn the skills of meditation and through that, I really started a spiritual path. So the people that really influenced me were the great teachers, Jesus.
Yes.
The ones that are here on earth now. The ones that weren't on earth. The great Buddha. The Deepak Chopras. The Greg Bradens. The Marianne Williamsons. My guru, Dada Abhinanda. Those people asked me to go within inside me and look at what's there. And then that's where you find true health. And then you can sort of more easily sort through the messaging out there because then you get the message from God.
Amen. I love that. That's exactly how I am. Well, was there a time that you wanted to give up that you weren't in the best place?
I'm there.
What?
Yeah.
Now?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. What? Yeah. I've been there because this journey of keeping yourself healthy and clear and clean with the way the world is going right now, and you feel like you make a step forward, you make two. We all know this, right? You make 2 steps back, and whatever it is we're doing, there's a step forward, 2 or 3 steps back, and another step forward, and you do that. It feels like you're getting whipped.
Yes.
Amen. And it makes you tired. And we go through these cycles, and that's life. And there's so many good things in there, right? There's so many.
You get a few blessings here and there.
You get a lot of blessings every day. And what you want is at the end of every day is I look at my dogs and I smile. Chi, my dog. Yeah. She's the one that inspired me. The love of the dog, God spelled backwards to me. That's what inspired Chi Farms about 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago.
Love it.
And so the love of the dog, the love of anything can inspire you to move forward and be happy. And without that love, I've met so many people. I grew up in a very loving family. I'm
Mhm.
sure you did too.
Yes,
But there's a lot of people that didn't.
I know.
You
And that's what's
know,
making the hate in the world. That's what's
yeah. And then you meet people and you're like, wow, I didn't realize you didn't know what love was. You know,
man.
you weren't loved that way.
Shout out to my mom for showing me love. Love
Yeah,
you,
shout out to my
mom.
family for showing me love, man. But you know, I don't know that that helps us get through the times where we're not eating right, where we're not on our spiritual path, we're not on
Absolutely.
our emotional path because the world does affect us. And again, that's why getting silent and eating healthy. I mean, basics, the basics, the most important tool in the world to me is meditation, getting silent so you can hear.
Amen. You have to listen
You
because
know,
that's literally your inner God.
Eh, eh,
That's you.
Elanya Van Sant, I believe. She's a black
Oh,
writer.
Ayala.
Did I say her name wrong?
Okay.
She was one of the first spiritual books that I read, what
Ooh.
she wrote, and it
Mhm.
changed my life. And she was talking about, you know what? If you can get silent enough and you say, oh, and you hear, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to the refrigerator.
Mhm.
She said, go to that. She said, stop. Ask the question, am I really hungry?
Mm.
Wait for an answer. I get a yes. Okay, I'll go to the refrigerator. Should I open the refrigerator door? Yes or no? If I get a yes, I open it. If I get a no, if I can hear it clearly, I'm going to know whether I should open the refrigerator
Right.
door. And then I'm going to ask questions about should I do that? And you start slowing down the process of your thinking and impulsively say, "Oh, I'm going to eat that." No, let me think about that first. When was the last time? You know,
Mhm.
all those thoughts into your head. But I tell you, she's a great teacher. If you
Yes.
hadn't read, is it
I haven't read a book.
Iyanla Van
I thought it was
Sant?
Ayala, but
I think you got it right.
I just
I,
used to watch her show.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
But that was back in probably 1996 when I started
Oh
listening
wow.
to her,
I
and
was like 7.
you're like 7
Yeah.
now. She's a great teacher, man,
Mhm.
and, a great writer, and I think she gave some really good tools so we could start listening to how we should eat and listening to what we should really do to
Mhm.
serve our brothers and sisters.
I do. I promise you, I think that all the time. My conscience is telling me to eat more healthier,
Mhm.
and I just don't be listening. I just don't be listening. But I definitely want to start listening to it because I know it's so many benefits
Yeah.
involved in that. But yeah, glad I
I
asked
mean,
you. And what tell us about the food stamp thing?
oh, well, we do accept SNAP benefits at Chief Farms.
Listen up, SNAP benefits
SNAP
here.
benefits, yeah. And, I've been trying to reach this out, but we
Mhm,
do deliveries every Wednesday.
mhm.
If you get on a rotation with us,
What?
yeah, if you
How
get a you
okay.
can oh, that's it right there. Yeah, he's got it up.
Oh,
So,
okay,
yeah,
awesome.
that's our vegetables, and we get 5 quarts of vegetables, 1 type of fruit,
Mhm.
a pound of local grass-fed beef,
That is
no
amazing.
hormones in it. That milk comes from cross-filled from a small batch.
Mhm.
Uh, it's called small batch factory milk, and what that means is it has no hormones in it. It's only been pasteurized enough to meet USDA requirements, so it doesn't have full pasteurization. It doesn't have the homogenation. Homogenation and pasteurization really heat up the milk, so it
Okay.
destroys how it works within your
It's
body.
supposed to
It's
be good for you. It
supposed to be
destroys
good
that.
for you.
Okay.
This milk right here, when you take that cap off of it, you can
Mhm.
take the cream on the top of it and put it in your milk, and it tastes like butter, like a buttery cream,
What?
just like your grandparents used to get when they dropped it off. I call the work we've been doing is milkman of the 21st century because instead of just being like, some organization that just comes and drops everything off till you never see them again,
Mhm.
what we want to do is bring back that community between us.
Really?
During the pandemic, I started everything back up, saying, "Oh, we're going to have a problem." Back there, all the, even 2.5 years, 3 years ago, when all that happened, not nobody was doing this.
Okay.
It
At
was,
all.
and still, I don't know of anybody else that's delivering like we are. I'm sure there's some out there in
I
our
mean, they had the
community.
meat, the meat wagons that would
They had
come
the meat
deliver the
wagons
meat,
and all that.
but I ain't never bought those. My mom did though, but I'm
Yeah,
like, I can't buy them as an adult because they too expensive.
it is, and like the eggs, they come from my hen farm or another hen farm.
Mhm.
The bread has no processing in it, so
Love it. Oh, is that the brand right there?
that's the bread right
Okay.
there, yeah.
Love
So
it.
that package right there is $75.
Mhm.
You can get it for $65 as long as you're on rotation,
Okay.
and you can't beat that price in the grocery store.
I'm ordering Wednesday. You got to do it ahead of time.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
and
on.
you can order or you can call me directly or
Okay,
whatever if you
thanks.
wanna start receiving that, and then as long as you do it once a month, once a quarter, once a week, I don't care. I
Mhm.
We just need to know what we need to prepare for during the month, and that's why we do rotation, and then
Gotcha.
we got these other products there, so, like, if
Now
you
what's this bag? I'm sorry. What's that bag?
that's coffee.
Oh, you got coffee, so it's like
Yeah,
good
we've
for
got
you.
coffees and honeys, so the idea is you get your box on Wednesdays, and
Mhm.
then on Mondays, by 4, you can come in and order your own stuff online if you want to, and then you
Mhm.
can order honey or or any of the other products, jams or jellies or additional breads or
I love
that kind of
this.
sweet, and then we'll pay for that then, but then we include it in your box on Wednesday when it comes to your door, and we do
That's
take SNAP
beautiful.
benefits. I mean, we've been I've been we as an organization have been trying to reach out to people for a long time, say, "We do have SNAP benefits," and I tell you, there's not everybody can afford that,
Mhm,
that $65 when I went down to Pat Towers to give you an example.
mhm.
Went down to Pat Humana came on board as a sponsor last quarter.
Oh, nice.
So what that allows us to do, with this kind of stuff, that's like to people that can afford it or SNAP benefits.
You get into the free with your the
With
sponsorship.
Humana, we get to feed the whole
Nice.
place for free, and
I
so
love
that's really our
that.
goals and our dreams. We're in a process now. We may be rebranding and relooking at everything and having a board that's gonna change. So I'm not talking too much about Chief Farms really right now because we
Mhm,
got a lot of changes coming up because we've gone as far as really as we could as a church. We
mhm.
started as a church because as a church, we can do these kind of things without having to report, all the stuff to the IRS. It's legal not to have to do that when you're just really working as a church. But now there's so much need in the community
Yeah,
that we're
it
really having
is.
to reach out to be a nonprofit so that we can go after grant funding to feed more people within the communities.
I mean, you definitely doing God's work because I
Well,
know that's what He wants for everyone to eat healthy, just like how it was back in the biblical days, how you just growing your own food instead of
yeah.
eating these processed foods. Because I know, like literally 90% of the foods in the grocery store is bad for you.
Well, it's processed. If it's in a can or it comes in a box, it's been processed, and
Exactly.
then you don't know what's in that food.
Right.
You just don't.
Mhm.
So that's been more and more, and that will continue as times go on.
Mhm.
So to me, it's just like how do we best serve our brothers and sisters? Am I always going to get it right?
Mhm.
There's been times where we had to get eggs from places I didn't want to get the eggs from, but there were no more eggs.
Mhm.
Most of
Mhm.
the time we got our sources, but I don't know if you heard about it, but back in the fall, what majority of the hens I heard about ones that weren't killed or cold for the bird flu back all last year, the place was burning down. We had millions of birds just culled or killed or burned down or whatever.
Wow. So that's why the eggs so high.
Those
Okay.
prices got really high.
This
And
is the
then,
reason, guys.
yeah, and then get this. Then I'm not going to go into names or anything, but
Mhm.
then all the hens around here and all over the nation, as my understanding, stopped laying around September because the
Mhm.
food they were getting did something to the hens. So all of a sudden we had less eggs than ever, even coming from our local farmers. There are just a
Wow.
lot of changes going on. So what I tell people is, if your city allows you to get a hen, or you don't have to
I
get the
be seeing hens
roosters.
running around my
Yeah,
neighborhood.
and
Wow.
I love them. I think they're great. I mean, they at least give you food, and
Yeah.
they eat the little worms and the little bugs that you don't want biting you in your
Okay.
yard. But we've gotten so far away from those things that cities and people say, "Oh, they're not gonna take care of them. The roosters are gonna wake me." No, you don't have to have roosters.
Right.
Hens don't need roosters to lay eggs, y'all. And then
Mhm.
you can take those eggs out, and don't have to put them in your fridge because they come with a coating around them. You don't have to wash them. Yeah, it looks a little funny.
Okay, so we don't have to wash it in?
It not the egg.
Oh, the egg. Okay.
You don't have to wash
I'm
the
trying
hen.
to take care of this hen.
I trying to care, but you don't have to wash it. If she's laid it, you can just gather and put it in your kitchen, and they'll last a month or two. That's how they do it in
Okay.
France and other countries. They'll put it right in the kitchen and leave them there, and they don't have to refrigerate them. But once you wash that egg, you got to eat it or keep it
Wow.
cold because
Okay.
you watched that protective covering that's protecting that little baby in there until it became a chicken,
That's
right?
crazy. I'm learning so much from you, man. We're
Yeah.
gonna take this whole hour, but we got nothing else.
Yeah, we better go.
Yeah, I know,
This
right?
has been fun, Bree.
I know. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about one more thing. Do you offer like meals that are already prepped? I think I saw that on the
We
website.
do. We're redesigning all that right
That's what I
now.
need, baby. With
We
my Martha
Yeah,
Stewart
and a
on.
lot of people want that,
Yes,
and so we are building that into our process. So if
please.
people can, if you just like I said, I'm not pushing a lot about cheap farms today or
Mhm.
gmarkets.life. I'm not pushing that a lot today because we're going through some reorganization,
I
but
can't
we
wait.
are here. We are building. Can bring that to you at this point. But we're going to be making some shifts, and we may have to take everything down for a couple of weeks
Okay.
to reorganize and get ready for the next shift.
It's going to be awesome.
About every 8 months, 12 months, we got to redesign everything because things change that much in the food industry. And there's
Definitely.
not money in food. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, unless you're those great big guys making billions of dollars,
But
taking
now
money
that-
out of our communities. We're trying to put money in our communities.
Hello. Now they crap in the food, of course. Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today, babes. Man, you just educated my brain. I'm ready to order. Y'all better go to the websites, order up before he go down because he said he gonna be taking a little breather. You know, we all gotta
We gotta
revamp and
reorganize.
reorganize. Exactly. So we definitely support you on that. Thank you once again for joining me.
Thank you, Bree.
You're awesome.
You're awesome too. Thanks, and I'm so glad to know you.
You too, babe. Thank you. So we got my next guest coming on, guys. Mr. Jason Rayne is gonna be in the Boss Boombox, and you know this is my P Diddy. If y'all didn't know, this is my P Diddy. Okay, what's up, Jason? I mean, you know, he always keeps me motivated with my music, and he is a great rap artist out here. I'm telling y'all, most underrated, most slept on right now because he got the flow, man, that'll kill you, make you so cold.
Thank
I
you so
love
much.
Of course, of course. So thank you for joining the Get Your Life show. Now we're gonna be talking about with him in the Boss Boombox segment on how music can affect your mental health. Okay, so of course, before I get into that, let me go ahead and let him introduce himself and tell y'all his platforms. All
Now,
right.
hold on. Before I get to introducing myself, blah, 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 let's give a special shout out to the queen right here. Put that hand up. Put that hand up. Put that hand up.
What?
Yeah, flip it over.
Oh, the ring.
You getting married. You done got the double whammy going, got the baby coming. Listen, blessings all 23. Listen, we up all year. We gonna get this money.
Let's
Come
go.
on now. So, but okay,
Period.
back to
Thank
me.
you, thank
Okay,
you.
my name is Jason Rayne. I am the anime bar king. That's what they call me. Yes, that is a big fact. You can follow me on all social media platforms. Jason Rayne 423, TikTok Jason Rayne, blah blah Jason Rayne, whatever. If you got Jason Rayne, it's me. There's only one, just me. Okay, let's
With
leave
the
with
Y.
that. So let's yeah. I be googling sometimes. I be like, "Who is this?
Right.
That ain't me." So
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Well, I do have a question for my viewers out there. We had a viewer engagement question. So I want to know what songs get you feeling inspired and elevate your mood. Any song that you can think of that you be like, man, I'm feeling down today. Let me go ahead and turn on Mary J. Blige. There's no more drama or something. You know what I'm saying?
I have one song in particular, probably it's a more newer song. And I was kind of like going through some stuff for real, like
Uh-oh.
relationship stuff like that. Not really. I was in therapy and stuff like that for
Dang,
everything. Yeah,
you
no,
bad.
no. It ain't one factor. It's just more so. I would recommend therapy for anybody. If you
Absolutely.
past 30, you need it. We
Yes.
all need it because
Absolutely.
there's a lot of things that we don't even unpack as children going into adulthood.
Right.
So we bring a lot of stuff to relationships that we don't even mean to do.
True.
So it's a song. The song is called Blue Notes 2 by Meek Mills.
Oh, okay.
And for some odd reason, when I was working at Pepsi, I worked night shift. So I was riding around all night. The song came out. Meek Mill my favorite rapper.
Okay.
So he was, but it's just something about what he was saying. I feel like he was talking to me. I said, Meek, put this on repeat. Put this song on repeat right there. So that song right there, it really helped me through my situation. So if Meek ever sees this post or ever sees this whatever, listen, I'm going to thank him for putting that song at the time when he put it out. I needed it, and that's just the power of music in general. Like
It does do that.
you just don't never know what. You might be telling your story, but you're telling somebody else's story too.
We can relate.
And people like, man, because some people they're not gonna say it.
Right.
You say a lot of stuff that they can't say, they won't say, they don't know how to say it. They don't. It's a lot of stuff. So
I don't get my heart broken. Like,
right. Okay, we ain't got to tap on this station. Okay, we all human. We all get our feelings hurt.
We do.
So
we all got them. So they hurt. They get better. You know what I'm saying? They all elevate.
But it really kind of depends on the mood too. So I mean, this Meek is just for me personally, but I mean, sometimes you might cut on some New Edition. You might cut on some Keith Sweat. You might cut on some
Kid and Play.
depend on okay, ain't no Kid and Play. Okay, that's for the cookout. Okay, that song's for the cookout. So they ain't got no songs you gonna play.
I can't.
Terrible.
I get that, but we do have a song so y'all can see the great artist at his best. I got one of the good songs that didn't have no cussing in it. Sorry about that, but yeah, it ain't got no cussing in it.
Before you play that song, I just want to say big shout out to my daughter's mom because I didn't even know that song didn't have no cursing in it when I recorded it, and I think she like sent it somewhere, and I said, "You sent it? And I cussed in that song." She's like, "No, you didn't."
Wow.
I said, "For real?" She said, "Yeah."
So used to cussing.
Man,
I'm just so used, just a little heathen. All right, let's go ahead and kill the song. We just gonna play a little bit of it so y'all can see how good my dog is.
But
Period.
before I'm so sorry. One more time. Before you play the song, I just want to give y'all a quick backstory about the
We're gonna
song.
do the backstory after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and play. Go ahead and play.
Like,
Right, because we ready to roll.
okay. Sorry.
No, we love you. But we gonna definitely hear it. We gotta keep that up. Yeah, because you done already answered 2 of my questions. I'm like, nah, you good.
Yeah.
That beat go hard.
I be easy. Yeah. I got a double D.
No, it's just that's just how I play.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't.
I be
You just gonna do the first.
easy.
Hopped up out the bed, the Lord just woke me up. An angel text my phone, I'm already having good luck. Jumped up in the shower, put that X up on my body. When you're doing good, every day feel like it's Friday or Saturday. Whatever floats your boat. I'm always smiling, but I never treat life as a joke. I'm living second to minute, minute to hour to days. Time is something like a flower. If you nurture it, it can be something beautiful. You give what you get. I guess the feeling mutual. So I treat it right, make every second count. People trying to buy time, but they lack the amount. Pay attention like a student sitting at his desk. When it come to time, you only get less and less. Love, live, and laugh. No need for rest. Live it up, cause it might be your last breath.
Wake up in the morning, stretch my arms, start my day. Trying to change the world in each and every way. So I be easy, so I be easy, so I be easy, so I be easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning, getting up, going to church, never complaining about my life. Cause I know people got it worse. So I be easy, so I be easy, so I be easy, so I be easy, yeah.
My head on her heart, that's love on my mind.
That was his song, Easy. And I'm telling you, that beat goes so hard. I love
Shout out the Hub Sound. One of my partners, I met him at Volkswagen. Great producer.
Oh, for real?
Yes,
Okay.
he is a great producer.
Love it. You should have came out with a video for that one.
I got a lot of gems I'm sitting on for real. So
Well, what's the backstory? Go ahead and tell us the backstory. On
okay, the
that song.
backstory, and it's actually a quite simple backstory. I know I made it sound like extravagant. It's pretty simple. I was watching The Zookeeper.
Is that a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm a big movie buff. I love watching movies.
Okay.
I was watching Zookeeper, and there was a part on there where, long story short, he was with some girl. No, not some girl. It was a woman that worked with him as a zookeeper.
Okay.
But he never seen her outside of work.
Mm-hmm.
So they went together, on a date, and he was like, "Dang, like she kind of beautiful."
Oh.
And then that song started playing, and like instantly, the second I heard that song, I cut the movie off.
You gotta remake that beat.
I went to YouTube, found the beat, and I was like, but then this was back when I was a rookie, so I wasn't leasing beats and nothing like that. I'm just ripping them off YouTube. I made the song, had the song for a million years, and then when I put it on that project, I reached out to my bro Hub Sound. I said, "Bro, can you sample this?" And then that's exactly what I did, and that's how that song came about. I mean, I love samples. Like I just love like that. I'm a big energy person.
Yeah.
So the second I heard it, I said, I want that same feeling when people hear it from me. Same when I heard it from him, I want that same thing. So that's how that came about.
I know. I know when you get an idea in your head, you run
Like,
with it. You run with it. You already got the lyrics to it. You slick got the beat in your head already. Like,
Man.
yeah, I know you. I know. I love it. And I love that about you. Your energy be just on point, and you really love music. So
man,
it's a passion.
it is something.
Facts. What's your get hype song? What song be getting you hype?
Are we say get hype? Do we mean like we about to go out, or am I like cleaning the house, or what is that get hype song? Because I mean, we going to Future, we going to Drake,
Facts.
21 Savage.
Let's say before you go into the club, that's something to get you hype.
Man, gotta be right now. It'll probably have to be that Drake and 21 Savage, the privileged rappers for some reason. No, that's privileged. No, that's I think it's hard. No, that's privileged rappers. Is that the beat that I sent you that we were supposed to do? We gonna do it eventually, but yeah, it's that one.
Okay, I totally forgot it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't need to be up on the new music. You really be putting me up on the new music. I just
I don't see how. You are artist too.
Hey. Well, what message do you try to portray in your music?
I'm big into anime, so all my weeks who watching this right now, if there are any weeks that they gonna understand what I'm saying. Anime, I've been watching anime since I was like 4 years old.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm really dedicated. So the fact that it's so big right now, I'm really enjoying it. But the messages in anime, they was always seem different to me. Like the people, I mean, I really don't have a lot of like real role models.
And that was gonna be my next question. So
and like, I don't really have like no real like. I mean, I do actually. One of my best friends, her dad, Shakir Marie, his name Clarence Marie, and he was a big part of my life when I moved down to Chattanooga because he was, he was a real good dude. And I took a lot of stuff from him, but then everybody else is from anime.
Yeah,
I told you got the Goku, you got the slime, you got the Demon Slayer, you got like the I love anime so much because these are the people that I want to be around. They're good people, genuine good people. There ain't no, who the bad guys are. You know who the good guys are. In life, you don't know who the bad guys are. You don't know who the good guys are because they make it sound like they blah blah blah. Next thing you know, they on the other side. So that's definitely that's more so my inspiration as far as when I want to put that into my music. I want to make sure that you get that same vibe when you watching anime song because I make a lot of anime references. So they know like, oh, he's talking about this, he's talking about One Piece, he's talking about like, yeah, I'm real for real. And then they be trying to test like I might say something like, oh, we watch anime for real.
Okay.
So
would that be like a dream of yours to like be the music producer behind
I would love to do an anime theme song for a show. I would love to do that. I definitely want to get to that's why I go to a lot of conventions and stuff. So if they ever approach me, or it's either that or the voice act in an anime, I would do that too. I really do both.
Right.
And I would work for free.
Okay. Yeah. Like, hey, look.
Yeah, we get like 3 seasons. I was like, okay, y'all. I mean, no more freebies at this point.
Okay,
that's cut me a small check, not a small one, it's a little bigger.
I love it. Well, in your opinion, how do you feel like music affects your mental health, like in a bad way? Are there some songs out there that put you in a negative vibe?
Yes and no, just because it's more so when you're talking about mental health, you're more so talking about social media. Like because the social media and the music is so connected to where like you might hear something on a song and then you go to social media and they kind of validate it.
Explain.
Okay, we all know city girl behavior, whatever. That's come on, we all know.
Yeah.
And they might say something and you be like, goodness gracious.
You know what? You are actually right.
Then you go to social media and you'll see these girls talking about, oh, my man gotta be 100, gotta make $150,000. Girl, you ain't never seen $150,000.
But she drive a Honda.
You work at McDonald's. What are we talking about? OnlyFans, keep your rent on, keep your lights on. Come on, man. So it's just a lot of stuff. It's like, bro, we gotta stop the capping. So it's more so.
Hey sis,
it's just more so like I'll hear a song. That's why I don't want to say I don't listen to a lot of women. I like the the kind of more so underground women, like the Rhapsodies, the
Mm-hmm.
Lady Londons. Then you gotta go back to the old school, the Missies, the
Come on
the
now.
Lauryn Hill, stuff like that. The real
Yes.
Queen Latifah, the real
You
women,
better work.
the women empowerment, those type of
Yes,
women. I like
love
them.
it.
And don't get me wrong, I like the Megan Thee Stallion, the City Girls and stuff
Yeah,
like
but
that.
they
But
portraying too much of the gold digging thing. I love Megan Thee Stallion too. You know, I like her confidence, but I don't like the gold digging portrayal.
I'm like the messages. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of more so like, don't get me wrong, it's cool to be your own boss and do this,
Yeah.
but they're not talking about love. Like,
No,
where
they
is
talking
the
about
love
the
at?
most money get the most love, and it's like, girl, that ain't true. Because
that
first of all, you done had a broke dude. You done had a broke dude. Everybody done had their share of broke dudes. Let's be real.
Come on now. Come on now.
We not finna on that at all.
Y'all making it sound like y'all living some life. Y'all did not grow up like this. Like,
Okay.
at all.
Nobody just off the muscle got a rich dude. Nobody. We done all gave that dude a chance to fell in love with him, and he did us wrong, whatever. Now we're like, okay, it's about the money now. You ain't finna do me wrong and be broke.
Really and truly, nowadays, I mean, if you got money, girls will let some stuff slide.
They will. They will.
Like, you know what, my bill's taken care of. He put 10,000 in my account. You know what? He do whatever.
Just invite her over here.
Man, now we paying for it.
Come on now. You ain't got to speak around. Just tell her she can come over. What she like to eat?
Man, you might as well be poly at that point.
And look, that's a rich dude tendency.
That's a fact.
When you have money like that, I don't know why women are like this, but they literally submit. They will submit to.
I always tell women, y'all struggling with the $40,000 guy problem. How you gonna handle the $100,000 problem? Because those are some different problems.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, like,
you done reached a whole other
man, they talking. You think they talking with that? Oh, real girl, don't you be blowing up my phone? You know I'm in this meeting. Yeah, let's go to the meeting you're in. You up all night.
Oh my God.
Don't wait up for me. Don't wait up.
Okay, you're gonna get in a whole other thing. That's real. That's real. What do you have any gospel songs that you like that get you in the spirit?
It's a song called "Back to Eden."
Okay.
Man, by
you know,
is it Donnie Lawrence?
Donnie McClure.
No, it's I know the song's called "Back to Eden."
So how does that inspire you?
To be honest, like when I first heard it, I was like the beat. The beat was going crazy. Okay. And then I, stood back and I listened to a lot of songs on repeat. If I really, really like it, I'm like, man, this song is hard. So then I went back, I listened to it again. I said, they telling us, let's get back to Eden. Let's get back to loving each other. Let's get back to loving the Lord. Let's get back to this.
Yes.
I said, man,
powerful.
That's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably one of my favorite gospel songs. That's actually number one, actually.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, I am cultured, y'all. I do listen to all type of music. Okay, y'all.
You definitely do. I agree. Well, that's definitely our time. So, Jason Rayne, thank you so much for coming on, aka my P Diddy. Period. Always.
You got stop calling me Diddy.
I'm sorry.
Diddy gonna sue me at some point. Like Diddy, I don't.
He my P Diddy. Okay.
You said I'm the real Diddy.
You're Puff Daddy. Anyway,
he copyrighted all the names. Okay.
I'm dead. Don't forget y'all can check my boy Jason Rayne on YouTube, our platform,
all the streaming platforms, all Jason Rayne under all the platforms, TikTok,
absolutely,
Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all that stuff. Instagram, blah blah blah, and holla at me and I'm holla at y'all back.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing me love all the time.
All the time, man. No question, man. Listen, what I tell you last year, bro, you're gonna do the show. You gotta stay consistent.
Yes.
Stay consistent. Just keep on doing it. And it's gonna take you someplace. Now look at you. We ain't in your house no more.
He was at the house.
We got mics now.
We had the styrofoam cups.
Man, all that. You probably shouldn't have said it over there.
I know. I just got how much the gutter I was in. All right.
He was in the trenches.
Thank you once again. So, of course, I want to thank my guest, Bree, for coming on. And,
big shout out to Bree because he told me about them eggs.
Okay, look, y'all better go blow his website up, cheapmarkets.life to order. And I'm already finna put my order in. I got my stamps today. It's on. We ain't married.
No, y'all ain't gonna say the same stamps.
Oh, no, sir. We don't sell stamps nowadays.
Dang.
And of course, let me thank my producers, Mike, Rob, Dr. Woods, thank everybody here at the station. And same time, same place next week, baby. Saturday, 3 p.m. You can see the Queen, so you can get your life. Let's go.
Oh, you gonna perform the song again?
Dang.
Forgot about that.
Hey, go.
Look, I know you're tired of the stress. Look, you woke up and that's blessed. So tell them, whole family take mess. Look, we don't fail, we just flex. So get up. I know you're tired of the stress. Look, you woke up and that's blessed. Tell them, your whole family take a mess. Look, we don't fail, we just flex. Yeah. Do you wake up in the morning, never ready to face the day decision making? Kids complaining, man, you just can't catch a break. Seems like you're sleepwalking, falling, dwelling on the past, paralyzed, family ties, wishy-washy friends. How do you elevate, stay motivate, reevaluate your plans? First, be for real, get up them bills, rebuild your confidence. So keep your head up and stay heavy on yourself. So get them lights on, get your life, so we can guide this generation. Yo, yeah. Hey. Watch that hate and emulation, grab the freedom, be a leader with the boss queen. Hey, to the queen, go. Yeah.